Hey guys, this is Resonant, and I want to break down the project for Away. Uh, this was a very interesting song that I made over 2 days, and I wanted to kind of experiment a lot with synths and audio files and kind of the way that I could work them with plugins and with different effects. And I think I came up with a product that I'm pretty happy with. So let's get into the project and break it down. I think the when I opened the when I started the project, I was thinking of a synth that was going along this um, melody line, I guess, and it was this. And then just to even up the sound, I put this little filter on it just to make sure that it was a little less hard. You could feel the attack of the synth without any of the body, I guess. And and then to start the song, what I did was I took a chopped up piece of like the melody, and kind of like made a little loop thingy, and then I reversed it, and yeah, I reversed it, and then I automated it to turn up in volume, and then I also automated the high cut frequency to turn off. So as it was going, this would slowly go to zero. So if you can hear it really clearly. And then it goes in. And another thing that's interesting, I did the tremolo, which and I think I put it on its fastest setting, so it's going to um and turn off the tremolo, you'll really hear it. So I really like that. On top of the fact that it has no EQ other than this, which eventually turns off. So and then obviously this one has the crazy EQ on it. So it kind of like it opens up and comes through, and then as it hits the main synth, it kind of like pressure releases, which I think is really cool, just to like start the song out and get someone's attention. Which is what an intro is supposed to do. It's supposed to get the listener's attention, and I think it does a great job of that. So turning on the tremolo makes it a little bit more interesting and interactive to the listener, and then it just goes in. So that's interesting. I used a lot of automation throughout this song just to achieve um, certain variables in the song that would keep it changing and keep you on your toes as you're going. And kind of, I don't know, I wanted this song to be kind of like different seasons, different thought processes as you're going along, because this song is a lot about, doubts and fears and um, just chasing what you want to do and, leaving home and everything that comes with that. And I wanted each section to have a different thing that kind of set it apart. Not really adding or taking away layers, but more just driving the song forward and having different seasons and thought processes as the song goes on, so that it felt like you were feeling what the lyrics were saying, I guess. And then so um, as I continued building out the song structure, what I heard was And I wanted that like slow release piano, so I just took the basic electric piano from Logic, and I didn't even mess with the sound, which I listened to Trev Barnes and he would say don't do that, but I really like just how it sounded, and so I'm just gonna keep it. And obviously that's just the root chords of the synth. So you have these going, and then you kind of get a feeling for the song. Um, and yeah, so that just obviously one thing I learned from Phineas, who produces Billie Eilish's music, one of the best producers in the world, easily. He when he was doing a breakdown of Birds of a Feather, he said he basically said that you know, you have that synth melody going, but you always need to go back to the main chords and really set a foundation for your song, and that foundation always comes back to a guitar or piano. And so you can have that synth going, and but it's still floaty. It doesn't really set a foundation for the song, it more sets a rhythm to the song by its speed and what notes it's playing. But you always have to come down to the foundation that grounds the song down for the listener, and that'd be the piano. So as you're going along, obviously you introduce the vocals, and the vocals were pretty straightforward. My basic um, um, vocal chain, which is the EQ that lets in more bass frequencies than a lot of people would let in. But I think that I really wanted to hear the voice, or feel the voice in this song more than just hear. Compressor, dynamics, obviously de-esser, self-explanatory. Saturation and color, and then just more cleanup. And then I put on space D, um, echo, and then tape delay. This echo is actually a stomp box for electric guitars in Logic, but I don't like the echoiness of the default Logic echo. But I like this one because it almost comes in as a reverb, and I can show you what that sounds like when you hear it. Scared after all this time, scared of what you'll find. Um, as opposed to when you pair it with the where is it? Oh, there it is. When you pair it with the actual echo, you get this. Scared after all this time, which that's a good like tape delay-ish feeling for something like, you know, alt rock music or something psychedelic rock. But I just personally like the Blue Echo just because it's less echo and more just like atmospheric space with that little bit of a tail on it. So this is it with all the different stuff, the tape delay, all that. Scared after all this time. And I just like the space that it gives. I like spacey vocals for me. Not so spacey that you can't understand the vocal like some like lo-fi music, but I like enough space where I feel like, especially in the verses, it kind of fills in some of that space that you're missing with with just not enough layers. And then during like big choruses, it feels like the vocals are larger than live. Other than just adding needless layers, you can have like a nice reverb. And then I wanted to kind of mess with vocals and different phrases. So when I hit lose, I put on the same, just copied over the same processing chain, and I just put 100% pitch correction on it. So it sounds like this. It's not super noticeable, but I like the way it sounds for me. Scared after all this time, scared of what you'll find. You're gonna lose. So I like that. Just being experimental and messing with vocals a lot more than I have in the past. And I think that's where I'm trying to grow as a mixing engineer, is just messing with sounds and getting the kind of stuff that I want and just seeing what happens, and just messing around. Cause like, what are you gonna gain by being like every other, you know, musician when you can just mix your song to be different? And that's what I'm trying to achieve. So you get the vocals in, and then it sounds like this. Scared after all this time, scared of what you'll find. You're gonna lose. Also, like, I feel like I struggle a lot with keeping my vocals on top of the mix, on top and very clear. And then I've struggled a lot with getting an industry grade master, not in like quality wise, because obviously, shaping tones and compression, I always do that. But in like loudness, I guess, because I realized I listened to like my whole album while I was like driving my debut album, which my debut album is out now, but I'm not gonna market it because it's a little weird. Um, I was listening to it to the car on like a road trip or something, and I realized that through the stereo, it just wasn't loud enough. It wasn't loud enough to feel like comfortable, I guess, over like road noise and stuff. I was like, oh, I need to get just louder masters and get just like that better quality in that way. So I've been really trying to get that down, and I think I'm doing better. But anyway, those are the two things. So I do like that my vocals feel like they're on top of the mix, and but they're still staying the same quality as they always have been. So I'm glad for that. But I guess as we continue through the song, usually by now, if I have a good a good lead part with the synths, the piano, then I'll really move into a drum groove that can set the pace. And that's when I called upon my good friend Charlie Jones, who is an amazing rock drummer and always gives in the best parts, and told him just go crazy. So hopped on the electric drum kit back there. I don't know if you can see it. We just use like Neo Soul kit because I like the way it sounded. It was very punchy, very alive, very big and huge. And I was just like, go crazy. I mean, I don't care what it is, just go crazy. I was like, okay. So I got this out of it, and I just love that. That performance is peak. The way that he's playing the hi hats, the snare is punchy and big. But let me show you this alone. This is amazing. Um, I think what I did is I kept the neo soul kick. I think the snare is probably the Manchester kit from Logic, and then the hi hats are either or retro rock or East Bay. East Bay, I just like the tone of the hi hats. I don't have to like EQ them a lot. And then for retro rock, which is the main drum kit I use, I just like it because the hi hats are shinier and bigger, and the crash is bigger for rock music, of course. So anyway, so I love this drum performance, and then you get into and I really got into Harry Styles' new album, which is good in its own right, but it's not great. Harry's House is obviously better, but I am a sucker for alternative pop music and dance music in a way because the mixes are so interesting, and I'm very interested in how different genres and different engineers mix their music. So listening to the mixes, I feel like there's a lot more low end and a lot more punchiness and hugeness in the drum section that kind of set it apart from other things. And I was thinking about, I'm like, well, I want some more low end in my music. I feel like my drums are always been punchy, but I've been kind of lacking in the bass frequencies naturally because I'm more of a acoustic alternative musician. But as I've dipped into more like synthy, alt pop, atmospheric music, I've been dabbling in the low end. So all of that to say, when I did the EQ, uh, I did some more low end work on that bass EQ, and then you go to the drum section. Oh, where is it? Okay, you go to the mastering section and just trying to add back all of those frequencies, and I feel like I'm happy with the mix, honestly, from a low end perspective, and just trying to get more clarity in there and more interactiveness between the stereo speakers and your music. A good thing to do. So we got that down. So you get the drums down, and then you start to really feel the vibe of the song. And let's listen to these first, however long, 24 seconds. Scared after all this time, scared of what you'll find. You're gonna lose. Fire's holding you down. Feels your heart is down. You'll lose. So, yeah, I'm proud of that, honestly. um, Also, another thing that I would say, um, because I'm a folk guy at heart, just the music I listen to, a lot of it is folk and alternative. But I always try to do that one take in music. So I think that when I was going through and recording the vocals, I actually did record from here all the way through to, or oh yeah, all the way through to here, all the way through to the first chorus in one take. And then what I did was, it was kind of early in the production process of the song. I think all I had was the pads, and then I had my drum groove. So um, as I did it, I kind of cut it up and time aligned it, and like kind of spaced it throughout the song as I was going. And then after that, you can add all of your uh, doubles, some harmonies in there, reverb, ad libs, and stuff. But I do urge you to at least try to do a one take continuous, and then after that you can cut it. But it doesn't matter if you cut it up or not. What matters is that people can tell if it was one take when you're singing it, whether you cut it up and spaced out and time aligned it or not, because of the way you're singing it and what it sounds like and the consistency and the tone and the language and the way that you're singing it, um and everything. So I do recommend it. If you can't, obviously no shame, because everybody has their own way of doing their stuff. But for me, that's just what I like to do, and it just makes me feel like there's more reality in my music, more live feel than others. And on top of that, just playing the pianos, playing the synth parts, playing the pads, uh, trying to play the real drum kit as much as you can, adds the realism to your music that can set you apart and add more humanity to the thing you're making. But so as I'm building out the song, I added these pads that are again following these bass chords of the synth. And I like that because I can get one continuous pad as I have here, just playing the root note, which I think is a C. And then having more movement in my pads doing this is a lot of fun because it feels like the pad isn't just stagnant, but it feels like it moves with the music and it sits with the chords and it interacts with everything around it. And it gives the song more life even if you don't recognize it. So I just use the bass pads from Logic and play it with the keys. Anyway, so that's nice. And then in the other ear, I just have a pad playing the C. This audio file is basically showing up, but I know it's there. Yeah, there it is. One thing I would say is for your pads, definitely EQ the lows and the highs and then boost the mids because you can notice there's a lot of low frequencies in some of these pads depending on where you're playing them in the piano spectrum, the octaves, whatever you want to call it. So just make sure you EQ it. I didn't EQ them, but I like to EQ everything to have no low end so that it helps the bass and the kick really sit nicely, and then the vocals have more room to be more boomy in the low end and really feel the vocals. So just make sure you do that. I didn't. That's a mistake, but can't fix it now. Yeah, so you add the pad and then you go in and I did the beat sequencer thingy, but did it for piano because I'm not coordinated enough to do arpeggiations yet. I'm a good piano player and I've been playing for a long time, but the arpeggiations always mess me up, especially timing wise. So I like to just get an arpeggiation going on beat sequencer and then just like build it off from there. One thing that's interesting is I actually just used a grand piano for this, and then what I did is I messed with the sound and turned it into a cool like boomy synth that could sit in the background. Yeah, so it sounds like a dumb, boring piano, and then you add an EQ, compressor, chroma verb, chroma glow, which is doing saturation. I did this and I just took out all the saturation in the low pass and the noise and just did wow and flutter, which really just made it like staticky and wobbly. And then same thing with the clip distortion. I turned off the low pass filter and everything. I turned up the mix and then I turned on the drive and it sounds like this. Alright, so now we can listen to this part of the song, and you can see how the structure starts to come together as these layers are added. Scared after all this time, scared of what you'll find. You're gonna lose. Fire's holding you down. Feels your heart is down. You'll lose. Yeah, so after that, once I hit that like little interlude part, I switched it up to this. So yeah, that's a nice little piece. Again, just trying to switch things up so not everything isn't just the same. And then one thing I didn't mention is I recorded myself playing the tambourine and just doing some hits. Um, actually, yeah, I think what I did is I hooked up the ride cymbal on the drum kit and then just kind of like put it into like the tambourine setting, and then I was just like whacking it over and over again with my stick to get that thing. Anyway, so you do that, and then you're going through, and then you get the interlude. This is where things really start to get experimental because I turned this vocal to an atmospheric piece. You'll lose, you'll lose, gonna lose, lose, you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose. Alright, so I did that, and then what I did is I put a tremolo on it, doing a slow pass through the ears, and then I hit it with a filter, or is that filter? I'm forgetting what a microphaser does, which is really stupid because I put it on there. It does something. Lose, you'll lose. I think it's just like a vintage chorus, I guess, but it does something different. Maybe a little bit of a filter, but yeah. So just mess with the sound so that it flows through the ears, and then that just sits in the background of the song as it kind of interludes, and then the song picks up, and you hit the chorus, and then the first chorus is where things really get interesting. So I'll stay another day. So I'll stay another day. A day away from here. Um, yeah, so I continue with this. I did the two doubles, singing the exact same thing, and negative 20 plus 20 because I don't like it when doubles sit in your ear because I feels like it's attacking me. Maybe that's just my ear sensitiveness, but so I always pan them off like that. And those sound like this. I'll stay another day. So you have that basically the same tone. There isn't like a big difference, and then you just have the main vocal. So I'll stay another day. And then you have this little reverb thing that kind of starts at the end. I'll stay another day. And I was really lazy, and I just copied and pasted this over to this and made sure I lined it up with that. So that's cool. And then with this one, what I actually did is I recorded. Let me see if I can put that down. I recorded this at the end. So I'll stay another day, a day away from here. So I did that, and I was trying to say from here, but my mic's audio cut out because it's a trashy, because it's a trashy like $100 mic and it can't do anything right. I'm trying to buy a new one. So I just punched in. Actually, at the end of the song, like the song was basically done and I was ready to distribute it. And the last thing I did was just randomly sing From Here to add that to the song at the end. So that sounded like this. From here. And yeah, so that's a little thingy. And then I just did those little reverb hits at the end. From here. And same thing, just copied and pasted it over where it felt right. And then yeah, again, just to not keep the song the same, I cut out the synth and I just did like a vocal thing or just like. So then yeah, so I was doing the I did like a piano thing and cut like basically everything out. And I don't remember, what did Charlie do on the. He just did the same thing. Yeah, so just did like a piano thing. From here. No. So I'll stay another day. Oh, he did nothing. So I'll stay another day. A day away from here. And then another thing that I did that was interesting was I did the tambourine, but I activated a bit crusher. So this is what it sounds like without it. Anyway, it sounds like a regular tambourine. I don't know what happened there, but so I did a bit crush tambourine, and then to kind of transition between sections every time there's like a new thing. What I did is I recorded hi-hat, or I did hi-hat hits on the beat sequencer, and then I just did a bunch of stuff to kind of like distort them down. And this is what they sound like with nothing, and then with and I like them to be like this, so it kind of adds like a sense of like, what is that, you know? And then you just crush them down. It sounds like this. And then in context with the song. From here. It's almost like a ticking time bomb, kind of like duh, 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 so you have that going, and then you get into like the big section, like the instrumental, and then it dips down into a. What I say is this song has like two bridges and then a final chorus, and what's going on with the pianos is this idea came pretty late. So I had the bass, which I added, and this was just like a loop that I found in Logic, which it sounded really good, so I just kept it. And it just sounded dramatic and larger than life, and I thought that was gonna be the bass that would kind of bring this section to life. And then I added this grand piano that's kind of counteracting the electric piano. Played it myself, and then you have that interacting with this, and it sounds like this. So it kind of has this inner melody of dun 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 dun, or something like that, and then it interacting with the bass, and it sounds like this. It gets muddy in the low end, but I don't know, it's really cool. And then this little piano thing that I did, which again, it's just a. But what I did is I did all of the bass stuff, and then I put a spectral gate on it, which is a filter in Logic, and it's just a default thing, and it sounds like this. And if you heard it in the song and you thought, wow, what is that? It's seriously just a grand piano with a bunch of trash on it. And I think in the automations, yeah, so I automated the mix on the clip distortion to go up as it's going. Um, and then the clip drive also, which is and volume, which is something that I really enacted in my song again, which you guys should listen to. But yeah, so as it goes, you can hear it. So listen to it in context with the song, and you can see how the adrenaline starts to pump and it starts to get bigger. So shake it off, take it back. So shake it off, take it back. So shake it off. Um, and then yeah, so you're doing that, and again, a lot of my music to gain some sort of awe and wonder about the music as it goes along, and to build tension and to build release and tension release is doing a lot of just automations on clip distortion and EQs and volume, where things are coming in, they're coming out, they're looping around as you're going, and you maybe don't notice that is even there during the entire song until it starts to pop up here or pop up here, and it's all just about building towards that final big chorus. Everything kind of just comes together, and that's what I was trying to do with this song. um and then for the vocals, what I'm saying there, which I feel like there's been a lot of confusion on that, is in that see bridge number one, or bridge number two. Sorry, what I was saying in bridge number two is shake it off, take your bag, because it's all about your doubts with chasing your dreams and trying to go far, and so it's kind of like just like don't doubt yourself, pack your bag, you need to go, you need to do this, and that's kind of like what I was going for. So shake it off, take it back, and that's what I was trying to say. I'm not great at like enunciating words, so sometimes that gets lost. But these are my vocals for it. Shake it off, take it back. So shake it off, take it back. So shake it off, take it back. And then after doubles coming as usual, I had some trouble timing up the doubles, so I did a lot of just cutting up and time aligning with the main. But this is what that sounds.
So shake it off, take it back. So shake it off, take it back. So shake it off, take it back. So shake it off.
So yeah, again, you can hear the audio cutting out because my microphone is so trash. And then you have my reverb double guy.
Yeah.
And then you can really hear it at the end when you have everything going. And it kind of just gets this nice little lift before all the instruments come in.
So shake it up. So I'll stay, I'll stay.
So you got that, and that's basically like all that's going on. For the drums, a lot of stuff is coming in. Yeah, Charlie played this second part, which is just. And I think for this, I was taking some inspiration from Chad Smith, who drums for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And he was doing like a video where he was trying to like, I don't know if you saw this YouTube short, he's trying to guess the drum part on this song. It's supposed to be, and then he miraculously does it. And I was thinking about that drum beat, and I was wondering if he could do it, but without a tom, because I don't like how toms sound just in my music. So yeah, he tried playing it, and so that's the best he could come up with, but we like it. So and then we have all the claps. So this is basically what that sounds like. Together, you could hear the bass.
From here, so shake it off, take it back. So shake it off, take it back. So shake it off, take it back. So shake it off.
Yeah, and then we have this big section here. I think for this, we should talk about this before we move on to that. And this was again the synth, but I think I only played like one note on the synth instead of doing like low chords. I just did dun dun dun, and I was taking a lot of inspiration from the drums in Aperture from Harry Styles' new album, and it has some like weird like bird chirping noises or something that were like pitched up and turned into like percussion. I was like, that's interesting, but what if I use something that sounds like that as a synth? So I kind of played with this synth here, which is the same synth going through the entire song, but I kind of like messed with some of the processing, and I turned it into this like really quacky synth that I automated to turn up, and as the song was going on, and it's really cool the way it.
So shake it off, take it back. So shake it off. So
that's a little Easter egg look into that. And then we get into the big section, and this is when all of the two synths come back in. Since everything's reversed, I felt like it was a nice harmony and a nice little back and forth that you could have during the chorus that kind of shakes things up. So the two synths, that one obviously reversed. And then so you have that for the synths, that's basically it. And then for the pianos, you of course have these two. So you have the filtered one and then the regular one, and that's just a nice like impact. And then you have the basic chords. They're playing throughout the entire song. I'll skip over that for now. You have the drums where you have the regular drums, you have the 80s clap that's doubling the snare. You have this. Took out all the lows and then kind of just put that in as a way to kind of like have a double snare going as the song's going through. So you have all these. So yeah, just add some impact to the drums. You have the tambourine going. Just add some high end. And then you have the big snaps. Add some high end and then all the claps. And then all of this together as a drum section is this. Fills a lot of space. And then of course you have this, which is let me unreverse this so I can show you. This is just like a guitar riff that I found in Logic, and it just sounds like this. So you have that, and then you do turn on all the processing, tremolo, everything. Sounds like this. So yeah, so you have that, and then the whole instrumental sounds like this. It just fills a lot of space, so I'm happy with how that instrumental turned out. And then again, just copied and pasted all of this throughout and kind of just arranged all of the vocals so that it could add a nice end to the song. I added this reverb track. This was one of the last things I did before I released the song, was add this reverb track. And I did it just really quick, just like this far away from my mic, just like yelling out things. kind of, and then I just copied and pasted it. But that sounded like this.
Another day, I'll stay another day. I'll stay another day. I'll stay another day.
So you have that, and then you kind of just add all of those layers together, and you have this huge instrumental.
So I'll stay another day. So I'll stay another day. A day away.
And then to finish out the song, you kind of have everything coming up at its peak of tension, and then you have this.
From here, so I'll stay another day, a day away. From here, from here.
And then what I did is I copied this down here. I turned it into an audio file, and then I reversed it to make that effect, because I just wanted one last thing that would keep someone's attention before it ends. So you have this. And then again, just add some reverb so it has a little bit of a tail, and you got this. And I mostly added that tail so that when everything kind of cut out, it wouldn't feel like it was a clean cut, but there's a little bit of reverb at the end, and then just loop it to here, and I've basically broken down the entire song. Let's just listen through the song together, and I'll open my notepad because I have all of the lyrics as I'm singing them, so we can listen through the entire song, and then that's it. So pretty simple.
Scared after all this time, scared of what you'll find. You're gonna lose. Fire's holding you down, fills your heart with doubt. You'll lose. Stay another day. So I'll stay another day, a day away from here. You're gonna be fine, you're gonna go far from here. You're not gonna lose, you're gonna feel lost from here. You're not gonna lose, you're gonna make it far. From here, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna make it far. From here, so shake it off, take it back. So shake it off, take it back. So shake it off, take it back. So shake it off. So I'll stay another day. So I'll stay another day. A day away. So I'll stay another day. So I'll stay another day. A day away. So I'll stay another day. A day away. From here. So I'll stay another day. A day away. From here. From here.
That was another good experimental piece, and I'm very proud of it. And I walked out into the wilderness and came out with something really special, and I'm really proud of just what it sounded like. And my sophomore album, which will come out hopefully in March or April of next year, will be a lot of the same. Just trying to push the limits of what's possible to make music that I enjoy and that I love, and be able to stick to it, and just explore themes of growing up and what that entails and what that follows, and what consequences come with that and what joys come with that, and just trying to get through it. And I hope you guys like the music. I've got over 50 subscribers now, which I'm excited about, but I'm not really excited about having the subscribers. I'm more excited that people find my music bearable enough to listen to it, which is something that I never thought would happen. This was something just to pressure release all of my emotions and try to do something that I could enjoy and try to follow after, and just try to be a better man and express myself in ways that can help me get off my own back. And 50 people like my music, which is crazy. And if it doesn't go any further, at least I got 50, and that's all I'm worried about. But I'll keep making songs, I'll keep making albums until I run out of ideas, or I lose the pen. I get uninspired, and this isn't something I want to do for a living. I know what I want to do for a living, but this is something that I want to grow with and master and experiment with and express myself through, so that I don't have to do that through frustration and anger towards my emotions. But I hope you guys like the song. I hope you guys enjoyed this and stuck around, and thanks for watching. Love you guys, and I'll have new music soon.